All right, Weather Weenies, let's talk about forecast models because they've been showing pretty consistent.
So first of all, yes, this is a ham radio channel, but if you look at my call sign, WX, short for weather, I also do weather stuff as well. I've been kind of split between a couple different accounts, but this is where we're starting today. Found this one at the gas station when I had a chance to watch, and now driving home. But anyway, go watch that whole video for the context for where I'm going from here. Okay, hopefully you're back. Now let's continue on. I do something. I am not a meteorologist. Let's get that out of the way. I am not a meteorologist. I am not practicing weather. I am a 100% hobbyist who has just kind of figured things out a little bit, at least in some areas. If you talk severe storms, I don't understand those models other than looking at the pressure and all that stuff. I leave that to professionals, and I just use their data or share it out. But when it comes to winter storms, I have had a kind of a fun hobby of predicting snow totals for my small region. All of the counties surrounding my particular county, that's all the further I go out, and I generalize it kind of sort of across the region, much like meteorologists generalize across their entire area, whatever it is that they're responsible for. But anyway, I go in and I look at multiple models. So I may look at the GFS and see, yep, there's snow potential coming. I check a couple models. I don't say anything. I don't say shit. All I'm looking for is there a chance for snow upcoming? And when should I start potentially looking deeper into what the impact is and what it should look like? I may look at a couple models, but usually GFS is really for the super far out, and that's all I use it for. When it gets to be like now National Weather Service, now meteorologists are start talking snow on X day, okay, now it's time for me to start watching even more carefully. I'm relying on them to say, hey, something's happening. So then I start looking at multiple models, comparing not only different runs within a model, but multiple models as well, in order to kind of get a feel for it. And then I start to formulate, okay, here's what things are looking like. People are asking me questions already by that time, so I'm like, okay, generally it's looking like this, but things are going to change. I'm probably, in line with National Weather Service in general. And then the night before, yes, I'm that kind of a meteorologist. The night before is when I say, okay, this is my prediction. Based on what I'm seeing, based on the trends I'm seeing, based on what I'm hearing from the National Weather Service. Because, again, things change. There could be a warm area that affects snow totals. Sometimes it jacks it up, sometimes it becomes rain, sometimes it becomes more snow. And I don't take those into effect unless they're talking about it. And then I just report this is based on the models currently. Here's also an effect that could happen and what will happen based on my understanding. So I look at all those models, and I have seen variations from about 4 days out saying we're going to get 20 inches of snow, all the way down to, we're not going to get anything, all within a period of sometimes a day or two. Well, that makes it really fun to predict. But the night before, generally at some point, most models kind of start to say very similar things. They're still different, but they're starting to get kind of close. And I kind of pick a number right in the middle and say, generally they're all saying about this. So that's my starting number up to generally what I'm seeing is a top end. And that's how I kind of pick my snow totals. And it has rarely failed unless something really drastically changed overnight, but for models where I am matching National Weather Service within about an inch or two. So I take those models. Sorry, I stopped the mailbox, so no, it's the seatbelt's off for a reason. I take all that information and I start to compile it together, all in my head, because I'm not a scientist, I'm not a meteorologist, I'm just a nerd who likes to do this, and I just like, okay, here's my prediction range, using all these models, multiple model runs generally, and kind of compiling it all into one nice little package. And I'm assuming meteorologists do something fairly similar. Turn this on. So in order to compile, here's what your weather's going to look like for the next week, next day, whatever. I'm not saying that I'm right, but this is just generally what I've been seeing, how I can been comparing versus our local meteorologists, a National Weather Service meteorologist, based on the models that I see and kind of compare against. Now, if I could ever figure out how the hell to read for tornadoes and the cap and how all that stuff kind of collaborates together, I would have an enlightening moment. But at this point, I just cannot comprehend that right now. So I stick to snow totals, and generally hasn't been too far off for most predictions. So thanks again for following along, and if you don't care about weather, sorry. I don't do this one very often, but this one just was convenient. Again, WX0. Although I never see weather, so that 0 might be a problem for me. WX0, MIK 73.